Hello, first grade. This is Mission 1, Lesson 9. This is what we do. We have our classroom lesson, and if you're in the classroom, it's called a small group lesson. This video takes place of that, and you go do your digital lesson. So, for example, today is Lesson 9. You're going to listen to your classroom lesson, and then you're going to go do your digital lesson 9. The brain is like a muscle. When I exercise it, it gets stronger. Here are your virtual learning norms. You know them by now. These are some guidelines to improve the quality of your virtual learning experience. Make sure your device is charged or plugged in. Go to a quiet place with little distraction. Have some writing tools. Check for exit tickets. And ask for help. Your classroom lesson is divided into 5 parts. Do you have them memorized by now? They are fluency, word problem, concept development, debrief, and exit ticket. Okay, here we go. Grade 1, Mission 1, Lesson 9. Our objective for today is I can solve add to result unknown and put together with result unknown math stories by drawing, writing equations, and making statements of the solution. So add to result unknown problems are when you don't know a part. You know one part, you're missing a part, and you know the total. Put together with result unknown problems are when you know both parts and you need to find the total. Here's our fluency exercise. It's called 5-group flash, partners to 10. I'm going to flash 5 group cards and you say the number. Then when you see the question mark, identify the partner to 10. For example, you're going to see this 5-group card, you will say, oh, that's 9. And when you see the question mark, you think about what is the partner to 9 to get to 10? And you would say 1. Okay, here's your 5-group card flash. So how many does it take to get to 10? What is that number's partner? If you said 2, you're right. Here's your 5-group card flash. Okay, how many does it take to get to 10? What is that number's partner? If you said 3, you're right. Here's your 5-group card flash. Okay, how many does it take to get to 10? What is that number's partner? Four. That's right. Gave you a little more time on that one. There's your flash. Okay, how many more to get to 10? What is that number's partner to 10? Did you say 5? You got it. Okay, there's your flash. How many to get to 10? What is that number's partner to get to 10? 6, that's right. Here's your 5-group card flash. Okay, how many to get to 10? What is that number's partner to get to 10? If you said 7, you're right. There's your flash. What is that number's partner to get to 10? 8 is right. Here's your flash. Okay, how many is that number's partner? How many to get to 10? You said 9, you're right. Here is the second part of our fluency exercise. It's called X-ray vision, partners to 10. I think you have X-ray vision. I'm going to prove that you do. Some of these 10 balls are about to go in the cup. I'll bet you can look through the cup and tell me how many went in. So you see there's 10 balls next to the cup. There's 5 on one side and 5 on the other. Some are about to go inside the cup. How many are in the cup? If you said 2, you're right. Okay, all 10 are back out. How many are in the cup now? If you said 5, you're right. Okay, all 10 are back out of the cup. How many are in the cup? If you said 7, you're right. 7 and 3 make 10. Okay, all 10 are back out. How many are in the cup now? That's right, all 10 are inside that cup. Okay, all 10 are back out. How many are in the cup now? If you said 6, you're right. 6 and 4 make 10. You must be a superhero. Okay, next we have our word problem. You see the hand with the pencil that reminds you to have something to write with. Do you see the letters R, D, W? Do you remember what they stand for? Read, draw, write. You are exactly right. Look at the other cloud. It says numbers, keywords, and units. Well, first we're going to read the problem, but I want you to be listening for numbers, keywords, and units as I read the problem. Kira was making a number bracelet with a total of 10 beads on it. She has put on 3 red beads so far. How many more beads does she need to add to the bracelet? Explain your thinking in a picture and number sentence. Okay, did you hear the numbers? I heard total of 10, and I heard 3. Did you hear any key words? I heard the word more. We know that's a keyword for addition, but I also heard the word add. Clearly, that is a word that tells us we're going to be adding. Did you hear the units? That's right, we are working with beads. Kira is making a bracelet with beads. So we're going to highlight those things. The next thing we're going to do is draw our picture. We know that Kira has put 3 red beads on the bracelet so far. So we drew 3 circles and we put R's inside of those circles to tell us that those beads are red. So we know we have a total of 10. How many more beads does she need to get to 10? It's a mystery. I'm going to keep drawing my circles until I get to a total of 10. Oh, it looks like my 10 frame is full, so I am at a total of 10. I think the mystery is solved. Do you see the two parts? Right, so we know she had 3 red beads. How many beads does it take to get to 10? 7. 3 plus 7 equals 10. So we read the problem, we drew a picture, we wrote a number sentence. What is the last step? That's right, a statement. She needs 7 more beads. You could restate the question to help you form the statement. How many more beads does she need to add to the bracelet? She needs 7 more beads. And here's our chart of key words for addition. We've had more, in all together, and today we're going to add the word add because we heard it in our word problem. Are you ready for a brain break? Here we go. Three, two, one. We are ready to learn. Today's concept development will be a little bit different. It's going to be fun. It's called Welcome to Math Stories Theater. We're going to be working some word problems basically, and we're going to try to figure out what is the number sentence that matches the math story. So it's a good idea to have something to write with. But you do not have to write until you see inchworms. So when you see inchworms, that means, oh, I need to pick up my pencil or my pen or my whiteboard marker, whatever, and try to figure out what the number sentence is to the story. But only when you see the inchworm. Here's our first story. How many students do you see? That's right, there are 4 students dancing at a party. After a little while, along came their dancing friend. How many students are dancing at the party now? That's right. 5 is the total number of students at the party. Let's show the total in a number bond. 5 is the total. How many students were dancing at first? 4 is our first part. How many students came over to dance? And 1 is our second part. So 4 and 1 make 5. Think about the math story you just watched. What is the number sentence that tells how many students were dancing in all? 4 plus 1 equals a total of 5. What is the total? 5. What does 5 equal? What are the two parts that make 5? 4 and 1. Here's another way to write the number sentence. Is this still right? Of course it is. We just put the total at the beginning. 5 equals 4 plus 1. Here's our next story. How many students do you see? That's right, there are 5 students that brought their field trip money this morning. At lunchtime, 2 more students' field trip fees were paid. How many students are going on the field trip? How many students were going on the field trip at first? 5, that's right. How many were paid and going after lunch? All 7. What is the number sentence to explain how many students are going on the field trip now? 5 plus 2 equals 7. What is the total? 7. What does 7 equal? What are the two parts that make 7? 5 and 2. Oh, you see some inchworms, so that must mean you need a writing tool. There are 4 inchworms on a giant leaf. 4 more inchworms crawled onto the leaf. Does your drawing show two parts of our story clearly? So you don't have to draw inchworms, you can draw circles. Just make sure that your drawing matches the two parts of our story. 4 inchworms on a giant leaf. 4 more inchworms crawled onto the leaf. Okay, now can you write a number sentence to show what happened in your picture and find the total? Four plus 4 equals 8. That's right, the total is 8. What does each number represent? The first 4 represents the first inchworms on the leaf. The second 4 represents the second set of inchworms that came on the leaf. And 8 represents the total. What are the other number sentences that could go with the story? Okay, so we could take the parts and swap them around. But because the parts are the same number, you can't tell that they've been swapped around. But they have. So this is the 2 ways that you can say it. 4 plus 4 equals 8, and 4 plus 4 equals 8. Is there any other way? Right, we can put the total first. 8 equals 4 plus 4, and 8 equals 4 plus 4. And there the parts are switched, but you can't tell because they are the same number. Okay, now we have an ant story. 7 ants were walking home across a giant leaf. So you can draw 7 circles. You don't have to draw ants. Three more ants crawled onto the giant leaf looking for a picnic. Does your drawing show the two parts of our story clearly? Write a number sentence to show what happened in your picture to find the total. Seven plus 3 equals a total of 10 ants. What are the other number sentences that could go with this story? Okay, we had 7 plus 3 equals 10. We can take those parts and swap them around and get 3 plus 7 equals 10. Can you think of another way we can write this number sentence to match this story? That's right. You can put the total at the beginning. 10 equals 7 plus 3. And then you can switch your parts and say 10 equals 3 plus 7. So these are the 4 ways you can write a number sentence to match our ant story. Here's a funny story. 3 bears were dropped off at UPES. Do you see that nonsense? Then 6 chickens were dropped off at UPES. That's even crazier. So you're going to make a drawing to show the two parts of this story. Started with 3 bears, and then the 6 chickens came. So you're going to draw a picture that shows those two parts. And you do not have to draw bears and chickens. You can draw circles. So how many total animals are at the school? Write a number sentence to show what happened in your picture and find the total. So we had 3 bears, and then we added the 6 chickens. What was the total of animals that arrived at the school? Right, 3 plus 6 equals 9. What are the other number sentences that could go with the story? So we had 3 plus 6 equals 9. We could take the parts and swap them around and get 6 plus 3 equals 9. Do you remember the other ways we can make number sentences to match this story? Right, you're going to put the total first. 9 equals 3 plus 6. And then you're going to take those parts and swap them around. 9 equals 6 plus 3. So those are the 4 ways you can write a number sentence to match this story. I definitely want to be at school when this happens. Okay, so you may continue, but this time I will only write the number sentence. Your job is to draw a picture with math drawings to match the number sentence. We have been looking at a picture and writing a number sentence, but now we have the number sentence and we must draw a picture. And you can pause the video to allow for more time to draw the pictures to match these number sentences. Here is today's debrief. How was today's lesson related to our lesson on ways to make 7? Do you remember the students that were going on the field trip? Started with 5, and then 2 more paid, and then a total of 7 students were going on the trip. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. How was today's lesson related to our lesson on ways to make 8? Do you remember the inchworms? We had 4 at first, and then 4 more showed up. So that was one way to make 8. 4 plus 4 equals 8. How was today's lesson related to our lesson on ways to make 9? I know you remember the 3 bears and the 6 chickens that showed up at UPES. 3 bears plus 6 chickens is one way to make 9. How is today's lesson related to our lesson on ways to make 10? Do you remember the ants? The partners of 10 in that math problem were 7 and 3. So that is one way to make 10. 3 and 7 are partners of 10. Did we finish the objective? I can solve add to result unknown and put together with result unknown math stories by drawing, writing equations, and making statements of the solution. We're getting some good practice with that. Okay, you were awesome today. Fly on over and do your exit ticket.